Hey, what's up? I don't know. Maybe I started it again. Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is another story from the time I was in Southeast Asia. Here's a story of the time when I was motorbiking through Vietnam and I drunkenly picked up this really awesome Australian chick. Anyway, to preface this story, I've been traveling around Southeast Asia with my friend Ian for like almost a month. And by the time we got to Thailand, we had, well, here's how it started. When we were in Chiang Mai, I think it was, my GoPro was mounted on my helmet when I was riding around Chiang Mai, so I get some awesome footage of like the streets from the first person perspective, like driving around on a moped. But whenever I went back to the moped station to like return my moped to get back on the bus to go to Bangkok or wherever it was, yeah, Bangkok, BKK, I left my moped on my helmet. So whenever I returned back to Bangkok, the terminal with Ian, I went to grab my camera out of my bag and I realized I left it on my helmet. So I looked up the guy's business on Facebook, messaged him about it, and he's like, "No problem, I'll just send it back to you in the mail. It'll get to you tomorrow." I was like, "Yes, thank God, this guy's like awesome. He just sent it back to me." But Ian, being like a person who's like very strict on like his schedules or whatever, was like, "No, I can't wait around in Bangkok for one more day. I've got to get to Cambodia." So I was like, "All right, fine, man. I'll just hang out here because I'm gonna wait for my GoPro because I'm gonna leave it behind, and I'll just meet you whenever I meet you. I guess meet you in Cambodia or in like Phnom Penh or something." He's like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." So we planned for that, and I waited in Bangkok till I got my GoPro, and then headed out on a ferry for the border, whatever it's called again, and I got my whatever on to Siem Reap. So I did that and managed to go there. This is the first time, by the way, I was traveling alone in Southeast Asia, which is really interesting to me at first. And I found it interesting at first because everyone I'd met was like traveling with a group with friends. But at first, I kind of embraced it. Like, this is actually kind of cool. So the first night alone, I was in Siem Reap, and I met these two kids from somewhere in the world. I want to say they're from Iran, but I don't remember. Anyway, after meeting them, they immediately told me about this place called Happy Anchor Pizza that sold pizza with weed on it. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's like a cool thing, man. I'll check it out with you guys. I'll try it out." So I went there with them. And I tried out Happy Anchor Pizza with the guy, and I was like, "Hey," he like told me about this place. I was like, "Okay." He's like, "You just get the pizza. You just tell him you want a happy pizza." I was like, "Okay." So can I get an Anchor Pizza with extra happy on it? And he's like, "Yeah, man, sure." So I did that. Let me just tell you, this pizza was strong. Like after I ate it, it got me like high out of my mind. Like I was. By the way, this isn't like illegal in Cambodia because the drug laws there are like really lax. So I ate it, and like afterwards I was just like super like stoned. Like everything was like trippy. It was like being on a mushroom trip or something like that. It wasn't just like weed where it just like makes you feel like super like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe being high except just like being high on weed. But it was like super different. So it was like trippy, you know? But it was awesome. So anyway, I tried that. And also I learned when I was there, it's legal to buy Xanax and Valium over the counter at any prescription pharmacy. It's like, you know what? While I'm here in Cambodia, I'm going to take advantage of that because I've never tried Valium, I've never tried Xanax, and I want to see what those are like. So I went into a pharmacy after getting the Anchor Pizza, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try, let me get one Xanax and one Valium. He's like, "Yeah, sure thing." And he just gave me like a roll of Xanax and a roll of Valium. So I got like I ended up getting like 2 packets of each. They're super cheap. They're like, it was like $3 for each one, which gives you like 20 pills, and I was like, "No way, that's like the weirdest thing ever," but like that's awesome. So I got like a lot of those, and immediately after I was like, "You know what, I'm just gonna try a Valium." So I tried a Valium, and long story short, without even realizing it, this is after I'd seen Angkor Wat and all that stuff because I didn't want to like obviously be on like substance when I went to go see it. But after I was like, "You know what, I'm gonna try Valium," and then just get on the bus and just see how that works out. But I'll need to say, by the time I went to Phnom Penh, but I didn't realize this, but I had gone through like 5 or 6 Valiums because you just don't even notice you've taken one. You're like, "You know what, I should take a Valium." And then 5 minutes later, "You know what, I should take a Valium." And it's just a weird, it just like compiles. So I saw Ian, and Ian's like, "Yo, you look fucked up, man." Like, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Because I had no clue. But I literally just say, like, when I was in Phnom Penh, I was like retarded the entire time, and I don't remember much of anything except that I went to see the Genocide Museum when I was there. But I don't remember much of anything except seeing like one room, which is like the jail cell room, but I don't remember anything else about it. So there's like not that many photos of like anything in Phnom Penh, except for just like one clip of me driving down like the main highway road in like the capital. Everything else is like not that filmed, and I have like vague, like, almost no memories of the entire capital. So that's how that ended up working out. But after that, I was like, you know, maybe I should take Ian's advice and just not be retarded, not take Valium or anything like that anymore. So I just like stowed in my bag and stashed it for later on. I was like, yeah, well, now we'll worry about that stuff. So anyway, but what I'm saying is the next cool city that I stopped at was I wanted to see what my time was at Ho Chi Minh City, which is awesome because I met these awesome like backpackers from Britain. And we like, went out together and like walked around the city and stuff, which is really cool. And I just got like my first experience of walking across the street in Vietnam, which is the most like heart pounding thing at first because the traffic. First of all, there's no traffic lights. You don't just like go and wait for the traffic to stop. It's just all motorbikes all the time, just moving in ways where there's not like any order to them. It's just like people just driving side by side on a road just like to get somewhere. So you just literally just have to like walk. You used to go. You just suck it up and go. Okay, now I'm gonna walk across the street, and you just have to go for it and just start walking across the street, and the bikes will just like dodge you and like evade around you. You just have to keep like going across the street and not get hit by a bike. So it's pretty awesome. It takes a lot of balls, but it's really cool. It's a really interesting experience. I got a video on my channel if you want to watch it. It's under 45 days in Southeast Asia, the video. So check it out if you want to see what that's like. But anyway, after going onwards up to Da Nang, I decided that I wanted to do a motorbike section of my trip. So I rented a motorbike in Da Nang to go to this town called, I rented the bike in Hoi An, which is outside of Da Nang. So this is where the story picks up. So after I got to Da Nang, I had to get to this city called Hoi An. So I rented, I think, a different motorbike to get to there. Because there's like a little town outside of like the airport and like the main city of Da Nang, which is like where I flew into from Ho Chi Minh. So when I flew in there, and it's like a quiet little fishing village kind of thing. But anyway, at the first night I went there, like the second night or whatever, I went out in the town and went out to one of the bars and met this like really cute Australian girl, this really awesome Australian girl. She was like with all our Australian friends, and we immediately just had like the strongest connection of my life. And anyway, needless to say, I ended up taking her home back to my hostel, and we talked the entire night. I just could not stop talking to her because I was like, she just like was like the best listener, I guess, and we just like had such a strong connection. So I did, and anyway, we got to my hostel, and first like we were like about to have sex. And I did realize I didn't have any condoms, so I was like, you know what, hold on a sec, I'm going to go get some condoms. Because at that point in my life, and I'm a responsible person, I'll say that. I was a responsible person. So I went down and like ended up walking around Hoi An trying to like find any place that sold condoms, which is like a hard thing to find, surprisingly, in Vietnam. So it's not just like a 7-Eleven on the corner, which just sells like everything you need. So I ended up finding like a little market that just had like in its little display case like something and then condoms. And I was like, oh wow, that's convenient. So I'll take one of those, please. And I did. I got a little pack of condoms, like a small, or just a pack of condoms, a pack of regular sized condoms. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and brought it back to my hostel. So I think I applied the condom, yeah. But I was like laying in bed, and like wouldn't you know, like as soon as I lay down in bed, like this couple, either like came in or they came in while I was gone, and they were laying in the bed like right up above us the entire time. I was like, can I put it in now? Like, can I put it in? Like, you think they notice? Like, I was trying to be super subtle, just like we're just like spooning here in bed. They're like I've been watching like a movie on the laptop, just like being like a cutesy couple, and we were like, and me and this Australian girl like trying to like bang in the bed. I was just like. Can I move just like shove it like a little bit and just like try to like jam it in like a little bit? It's pretty close ruling because the entire I couldn't like actually just like, you know, like rail her in my room in the hostel because it would have been like, you know, a faux pas because the other couple was right there. I was to say it was a very complicated, you know, line review, but I would say I felt like I was in there at some point, but I think in the end I wouldn't count it because I wasn't like, you know, doing my thing like in there. So I don't know. It's a complicated judgment call. I don't know. Anyway, she was a really cool girl. I stayed in touch with her. She's awesome now. She's like, as I say, it's a judgment call, but I would say I was out at that point in time of her vagina, so I wouldn't count it as sex. But anyway, I found her on Twitter the other day, and I added her, and I immediately just like fell over her all over again. So she's like, she has the coolest story ever. She's like the nicest, like most motivated, like awesome girl ever. She's a teacher. She's like so cool. She just like inspires people, and that's like the coolest thing in my mind and like in my heart for her to just like teach people and like make the world a better place. That's just what I love about her. She's just like such like a pure soul, I guess. I don't know how to say that, but I just love that because I'm like just someone who immediately it's just someone who just gets along with that kind of person just based on my soul. And I don't know how I describe my soul because I can't, but I don't know. I just feel like her and I are like soulmates completely, and we just like click together really well. So I don't know. Anyway, her name's Kaz, if I can say it out loud. And Kaz Kelly, if you're watching this, hey, I followed you on Twitter. Please respond to my message because I super swooned for you when I read your profile and saw that you're a teacher now. That's awesome. Anyway, best of luck to you. Sorry I didn't get back to you in Australia. I had this offer to stay with this one girl from my Hoi An place, and I wasn't staying in the Gold Coast that long, so like I couldn't like dwell there or dawdle there too long because I really wanted to get to Sydney, and I lost my credit cards and I was having a hard time. I lost my passport too, so I didn't know what else to do except I went to Sydney and I was like, "Can I just crash on your couch?" Because she told me before, she's like, "If you ever come to Sydney, you can crash on my couch. Worst case scenario." So, and I was like, "Okay, fine." So I tried to do that, but she wouldn't get through to me, and I was just like really not having it, and just like couldn't, I don't know, couldn't stop by whatever city it was at because I was in Cairns. So anyway, that's the story about the night I spent in Hoi An. And if you want to see more about my motorbiking trip or anything else about Halong Bay, check out the videos on my channel, on my blog, or on my blog. It's probably a much better way for you to hear about it or just see it. You can just see like what it's like, or check out photos on my Instagram even. Anyway, that's the story about that, and I'll see you guys later.